Good morning. I am excited to share with you guys about the house of Simon Peter. I was able to visit it a couple years ago for this building on top of it. And I will say the AC here is very nice, so I would stop in on a hot day if I were you. Um, but this place is in the city of Capernaum, which is on the northern shore of the Sea of Galilee. We see from the Bible that Simon Peter and Andrew did live there, and this was also like a home base for Jesus. So, pretty important area. I'm going to try to convince you that this is where the remains of Simon Peter's house lie. Let's see. So, this is an artist's rendering of the archaeological finds of what could have been Simon Peter's house. You see the stone walls, and then also the floors would have been made of dirt and stone. Pretty typical style for that time. When was this place discovered? 1838. A man by the name of Edward Robinson found this on his trip to Palestine. Wrote a book about his findings, and then the Franciscan Fathers acquired most of this territory in 1894. They started excavating, picked up where they left off again in 1968, and found some pretty cool things. So this floor that we were talking about, they found that it gave way to several layers of limestone floor. Clearly some renovations done there. And then we're able to date this place pretty far back in time. These are some remains from an ancient lamp, which dates back to the 1st century. And then they also found some coins that date back to the 2nd century. So pretty old place, and hey, that would work pretty well with being where Simon Peter lived in the timeline. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what happened through time to this place. Would have been built sometime before the 1st century, and then within that 1st century, they think they expanded this room sometime in the first 100 years there, and then in 500s, they put plaster up on the walls, added an atrium, and then put a perimeter around the whole place as well. And then in the 600s, that's when they believe that this octagonal kind of structure was added to the top, which is built on top. So what's the historical impact? Well, this could have been one of the first home churches, house churches. Could have been a place where the earliest Christians met to worship. Writings have been found on the wall of Lord, Jesus, God, Messiah, pictures of fish and boats. There's also some accounts from pilgrims like Agaria in 381, who recognized this place as being a church built on top of Peter's house. And then also a pilgrim from Piacenza in 570 said the same thing. Hey, this is where Simon Peter used to live. What does this place look like today? Well, in 1990, the Franciscan Fathers built this church above it. You can look through the glass floor and see this, or just walk up and get a view just like this, I guess, from the side. And let's take a look now at some comparable architectural finds in this area. Not a stone's throw away, we have the synagogue, which dates back to about the 4th or 5th century from some coins they found. However, this picture you see on the right corner shows a foundation that looks a little bit different than the rest of the temple. Could even date back to the 1st century, could have been where Jesus taught. That'd be pretty exciting. And then this is the place where, according to legend, Jesus grew up. Sometime in the Byzantine Empire, a church was built on top of it, recognizing this place. And now there's a convent. And at least Professor Ken Dark, my time's almost up, believes that this was where Jesus, well, as good a place as any for Jesus to have grown up. Whether or not these places are strictly where these people grew up, I still think it's interesting to get a look into their life and through architecture. These are some sources I used. Also, they had some great pictures. Thank you for your attention.